YouTube? I'm Brett from Rants. As always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave that comment down below. Alright, so, new rumors maybe have George Lucas having enough of Kathleen Kennedy and Disney and everything that she has done to his beloved Star Wars. You've got to believe that even if he cared nothing about Star Wars, which I believe he does care about, his own creation. But even if he didn't, Kathleen Kennedy's decisions have hurt his franchise, therefore hurt his bankroll. So you've got to believe that at least to a certain extent, he's pissed by how Disney and Kathleen Kennedy has handled really his precious baby. And the thing that really has made him all these millions and millions of dollars over the years, and then all of a sudden basically put it at the brink of almost extinction. Let's go ahead and read this article. I want to believe it fully. I do. Overlord DVD, he's had some success about breaking rumors, but then at the same time, some things seem a little bit far-fetched when it comes to this. But I'll go ahead and read it. It says, a new rumor claims that after years of the franchise's mishandling under the direction of Disney, Star Wars creator George Lucas is set to bring his creative energies back to a galaxy far, far away. According to reports by both YouTuber Overlord DVD and Disney news outlet InsideTheMagic.net, Lucas will soon attempt to wrest creative control over the franchise back from Kathleen Kennedy by bankrolling a brand new Star Wars trilogy. While no details were provided regarding what his potential trilogy would entail, Lucas' previous plans for a Star Wars sequel trilogy included Darth Maul and Darth Talon as the villains. Luke rebuilding the Jedi Order from survivors of Order 66, Leia reforming the New Republic, becoming the Chosen One. Let's get rid of this. Darth Maul trained a girl, Darth Talon, who was in the Star Wars Legends comic book as his apprentice, explained Lucas in the foreword to the Star Wars Archives episodes 1 through 3, 1999 through 2005. Lucas expanded she was the new Darth Vader, and most of the action was with her. So these were the two main villains of the trilogy. Maul eventually becomes the godfather of crime in the universe because as the Empire falls, he takes over. As for Leia, Lucas noted, the movies are about how Leia, who else is going to be the leader, is trying to rebuild the Republic. They still have the apparatus of the Republic, but they have to get it under control from the gangsters he wrote. That was the main story. Lucas continued, it starts out a few years after Return of the Jedi, and we established pretty quickly that there's this underworld. There are these offshoot stormtroopers who started their own planets, and that Luke is trying to restart the Jedi. He puts the word out, so out of 100,000 Jedi, maybe 50 or less left, 100 are left. The Jedi have to grow again from scratch, so Luke has to find 2- and 3-year-olds and train them, said Lucas. It'll be 20 years before you have a new generation of Jedi. According to Lucas, by the end of the trilogy, Luke would have rebuilt much of the Jedi, and we would have the renewal of the New Republic with Leia, Senator Organa, becoming the Supreme Chancellor in charge of everything. So she ended up being the Chosen One, he concluded. If Lucas does return, it would signal a significant shift in his feelings towards the franchise. However, as noted by both Overlord DVD and InsideTheMagic.net, no one connected to either Disney or Lucasfilm has officially commented on Lucas's return. As such, fans are encouraged to take this rumor with a sizable grain of salt. Um, okay, few problems with that. Darth Talon was a minion of Darth Krayt, and Krayt, was a member of the Jedi Order during the Clone Wars. He knew Anakin Skywalker. I believe he even saved his life at one time. But over time of being trained by the dark side, he turned into a Dark Lord, and when he came out of his training, I believe the galaxy had already been uh, freed. From what I remember of that, that's how that goes. Now, I don't remember if it was the Empire that took over or if the Empire was destroyed. But I do know that it was going to be his mission to restore the things the way that they were when it come to the Jedi ruling and the Republic being there. Like, he turned into a villain in order to master powers that was beyond anything a Jedi could control. That being said, Talon was one of his subordinates. This supposedly took place, if I remember correctly, I think it was like 3 generations after Luke. Because, I think it was his great grandson. I think it was Luke's great grandson that was the Skywalker in that comic. Now that was a really interesting comic. I think it had Darth Nihilus in it. It had a couple other ones, Darth Talon, and a few others that were really interesting. Darth Talon is actually a really interesting character. But everything that I read there has her. It feels like probably about 60 or 70 years before she was even born. And of course, there was nothing about Darth Maul in that comic. And I feel like another thing that would kind of pose problems with any of this is that Darth Maul was killed off in Rebels. And that alone should be would make this almost impossible, because Rebels, he goes to Tatooine, and he finds Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Obi-Wan Kenobi is still watching over Luke at that time, and then they fight, and then he dies. And that's supposed to be the end of Darth Maul. But from the way this is stating, that was not the end of Darth Maul. That basically none of that is canon in a lot of ways. So they would have to change up a lot of things for that to happen. One, you would instead of being Krayt's apprentice, it would have to be Darth Maul's apprentice. Talon would have to be. It would have to take place in a completely different era of what Talon was in. You would have to change up the whole thing when it comes to Darth Maul in his death. You would have to dispose of Rebels as being canon, I guess you could say. There's a lot of things about that that you would think, or at least in my eyes, would say no, that can't be true. None of this can be true in a lot of ways. But at the same time, that could just be like a rough draft, and that could just be his ideas at the time. But he can change it up, make it however it is. Darth Talon isn't even in Star Wars canon anymore. I think she's she's in Legends. So I mean, you could do that. You could have a whole story with her. Man, would that be a great story? That would be miles better than anything the sequel trilogy uh, made. I mean, it would just come. You would have to dispose of Ray Skywalker and the end of the Skywalker legacy. You would have to have a new kind of Luke Skywalker, one that never really fell into this guy that fled the order and disposed of anything that he was, all the hope and that he once had, and just became kind of like a hermit out in Octu. So I mean, you would have to change a lot of things. One, you would have to, like I said, you would have to change the death of Darth Maul. You would have to change Luke's fate significantly because Luke had children, where in the sequel trilogy he did not. He also wasn't married, which he would have to be married in this one for something along this to happen. You would also, like I said, you would need to change Talon, change her by at least 80 years, her birth. So I mean, you could do it since none of it's already set in stone. But I don't know. I don't know. I hope this is true. I really do. I hope George Lucas has enough in him at this moment to be like, you know what? You're costing me money, Kathleen Kennedy. You're ruining everything that I've created, and I'm taking it back. To at least a certain extent, creative control. Um, I don't know if I necessarily believe this rumor. I want to. It's one of those things. My heart wants to believe it, but my brain is telling me otherwise. Now, Overlord DVD is a credible source, so it's not like it's just something that's just thrown out there. Overlord DVD usually does have insiders that do know some things. So, I mean, I'm not going to just dispose of it completely and say, no, it's fabricated, it's fake. It just won't happen simply because I do have respect for that guy in everything that he's done and the news that he usually breaks because I am a fan of his. But at the same time, I'm like, this seems really far fetched, and you would have to change a lot of stuff that already is canon and completely just dispose of it for this to work significantly, or the way that it was at least put forward. Let's just put it that way. But guys, let me know what y'all think. Would y'all want to see a story like this? I know most of y'all probably would. Not a whole lot of people are happy or excited about the way that the sequel trilogy turned out. So I mean, this would be pleasant news for anybody that wants a change in what we currently have when it comes to Disney Star Wars. So I think this would be great. I tell you, for those who don't know who Darth Talon is, go and read comics about her. I think it's Star Wars Legends now, what they call it. But she's awesome. She is awesome. She is even a million times better than even Darth Maul was, and Darth Maul is pretty cool. Like she just is ruthless to the extreme. Like she is what you would think of when you think of a Sith. And also, there's some really cool other apprentices that Darth Crate has as well. That was on there. That was just as interesting as what she was. So I mean, go back and read that. Tell me what y'all think down in the comments below. Do you think this could work? I mean, that's all. That's the only question I really got. Do you think this could work? I think it could. I think they would have to change a lot, but I think it could. I say throw everything in the trash, to be honest, to make this work. I would be willing to everything that was from Clone Wars to Rebels to the Bad Batch, anything that you got there, I say throw it all in the trash if it means doing this. That's the way I feel towards it. That's the way I feel towards it. But as always, guys, let me know what y'all think, and y'all take care.